Georgia, the area's #1 news source, brings you news, sports, and weather. This is News Center 10's 11 o'clock report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Summers. For the second day, the jury deliberated the fate of conviction.
Is News Center 10's 11 o'clock report with Lisa George. Sports with Ducky Wall. And weather with Chuck Bell.
Hello again, everybody.
This is News Center 10's Weekend Report with Robert Hydrick. Jim Wallace with sports. And weather with Andrea Ford.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hope you had a nice week.
This is News Center 10, South Georgia's #1 news source.
Severe weather resulting in injuries and some deaths may dampen activities planned for this Veterans Day across the nation. Good Monday afternoon to you, everybody, and happy Veterans Day to you. I am Carla Heath Sands, and this is News Center 10's 12 o'clock news. Tornadoes ripped through the south. Back, please stay with us.
You're watching News Center 10, South Georgia's #1 news source. This is the 12 o'clock news with news anchor Carla Heath Sands. Your local weather with meteorologist Kent Williams and Ruthie Garner with On the Line. You're watching News Center 10, South Georgia's #1 news source. This is News Center 10's 12 o'clock news with news anchor Nancy Wright and the weather forecast from Jeff Crum. This is South Georgia's #1 news source, News Center 10.
As you can see, the church was totally destroyed.
You're watching News Center 10, South Georgia's #1 news source. This is the 5:30 news with news anchors Don Hoppy and Joe Coffey. The weather forecast by Yolanda Amadeo and sports with Jim Wallace. This is South Georgia's #1 news source, News Center 10.
In that part of the salon, and she said it.
You're watching News Center 10, South Georgia's #1 news source. This is the 6 o'clock news with news anchor Don Hoppy and Joe Coffey. The weather forecast by meteorologist Yolanda Amadeo and sports with Jim Wallace.
Live from 10 WALB, leading the way for South Georgia. This is WALB News 10's First News at 5.
4 Dougherty County convenience stores are raided in a crackdown on illegal gambling.
The owner of 2 of the...
This is WALB News 10's First News at 5. With news anchors Dawn Hoppy and Ben Roberts, and your local weather forecast with AMS meteorologist Yolanda Amadeo.
Brought to you by Stone's Home Center. When you shop.
WALB News 10's First News at 5 now continues. With news anchors Jim Wallace and Karen Cohilas, and your local weather forecast with AMS meteorologist Yolanda Amadeo.
The Albany Police Department has a new tool. We'll introduce you. All of this food will be distributed to almost 2,000 families in need today.
A lot of people just don't have the money.
Live from 10 WALB, leading the way for South Georgia. This is WALB News 10 at 6.
Officers raided 4 Dougherty County convenience stores today in a crackdown.
This is WALB News 10 at 6 with news anchors Dawn Hoppy and Ben Roberts. Your local weather forecast with AMS meteorologist Yolanda Amadeo. And sports with Robert Hydrick. Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 6.
Welcome to Albany and Southwest.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 11.
Disney Films is coming to A fiery crash shuts down a busy Georgia interstate. We'll show you the explosion. Dawson's newly re-elected mayor discusses his plans for his second term, what he hopes to accomplish.
He wouldn't want me to say this, but he's still my baby, you know.
A Lee County judge talks about his son's deployment to Africa, how he and other soldiers are helping fight the ongoing Ebola crisis.
Now, in high definition, live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 6.
A tanker truck explodes after colliding with a...
It's not applied fairly.
The message death penalty opponents brought to South Georgia tonight and what else they're raising awareness about. Did police act too hastily in arresting so many biker gang members after that deadly Texas shootout? Why they're getting criticism. Robbers caught on camera targeting jewel dealers, but their heist didn't turn out as they planned. A South Georgia Youth Center honors kids tonight. Why the group is so successful at getting grants to keep their programs going.
Now, in high definition, live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 11.
The most important thing for me is to get people involved, especially men of color.
DNA evidence. An anti-death penalty group tries to increase social activism in South Georgia. Georgians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty held an open forum in Dawson tonight. Group leader.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 with breaking news now.
And we are following breaking news happening.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 6.
Appears to go a little bit further than what would just be normal vandalism.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 7.
We will do December the 19th.
Marked by a thought-provoking documentary screened at Albany State University tonight.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 11.
Municipal Election Day is less than 6 weeks away in Georgia.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10's Today in Georgia.
Well, chilling surveillance video of a woman shot inside of an Albany convenience store. Now police are searching.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 6.
South Georgia police warn an increase in crime is right around the corner at the top.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 7.
Authorities are working to identify a body found in the... Authorities want you to be careful of criminals trying to take advantage of storm victims as we move into hurricane season.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 at 11.
The countdown to the runoff election for the Dougherty County Commission seat is on. We are... From
your first alert station, this is WALB News 10's Today in Georgia.
Well, an arrest has been made in connection to a shooting at Brothers Corner.
From your first alert station, this is WALB News 10 at 6.
Backlash over a zoning ordinance still strong. The new steps at Dougherty.
From your first alert station, this is WALB News 10 at 7.
After dozens of angry residents told Dougherty County Commissioners they're not happy about a convenience.
From your first alert station, this is WALB News 10 at 11.
Contractors are scheduled to be at...
Covering South Georgia, this is WALB News 10's Today in Georgia.
Well, a stay of execution has been lifted for a man on death row.
We'll tell you why that decision has been...
Covering South Georgia, this is WALB News 10 at noon.
Well, thanks for joining us here for the news at noon. I'm Tasha Reed, and all new at noon, we now have surveillance.
Covering South Georgia, this is WALB News 10 at 4.
The GBI is investigating a man's death at the Atkinson County Sheriff's Office. This happened around 5:30 yesterday evening.
Covering South Georgia, this is WALB News 10 at 5.
We begin this hour with shocking video.
Covering South Georgia, this is WALB News 10 at 6.
We now know the day a man will be put to death for the killing of a Thomasville man.
Covering South Georgia, this is WALB News 10 at 7.
We start with breaking news. The leak.
Covering South Georgia, this is WALB News 10 at 11.
The Lee County Sheriff's Office continues their manhunt tonight for one of the...
Get ready for some TNC with Alicia Lewis.
Yes, County Country is back and bigger than ever, you guys. It's been so much preparation.
Happy anniversary, WALB. Wish you continued success.
From your hometown news source, this is WALB News 10.
Well, good afternoon and thank you for joining us. We're working on multiple breaking news stories at...
From your hometown news source, this is WALB News 10.
Well, first at 4, witnesses speaking out after a 13-year-old reportedly stole a car and...
From your hometown news source, this is WALB News 10.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Quillen Parker.
And I'm Jamie Worsley. This just into our newsroom. We're reading this straight off of a press release about a fatal crash in...
You're watching 10 WALB TV Albany.